In this video, we're going to share some essential safety tips before assembling and using a scaffold tower. The first set of tips apply before assembling a scaffold tower, starting with conducting a risk assessment. It's important to conduct a risk assessment because you identify the risks and you take appropriate action to minimize them or refrain from assembling a scaffold tower altogether. The following tips should be considered on the above mentioned risk assessment. Ensure that the person who is going to assemble the scaffold tower is competent to do so, because it could result in an injury to a worker or a member of the public. Always check that you have all of the components and none of them are damaged. If they are damaged, or if some of them are damaged, you should buy a replacement part from your manufacturer. Follow the manufacturer's manual every time it is erected and dismantled, because a missing component or component in the wrong place could prove fatal. Ensure the ground is firm and level, free from holes and obstructions, because an unstable ground is bound to cause the tower to be unstable and it's more likely to topple over and sink beneath the surface. Ensure that there are no overhead dangers like power lines. Now we're going to share the safety tips when using a scaffold tower. Wear personal protective equipment such as a hard hat, high-vis and non-slip shoes. While our platforms have non-slip technology, it's about minimizing worker and public risks. Remain below the maximum load weight at all times. An overloaded scaffold tower may give way in unpredictable ways. Ensure that the working platforms have guardrails and toe boards assembled, which will reduce the chance of tools and workers falling from height. Only move a scaffold tower when the height is less than 4 meters, the path is level and free from obstructions on the ground and overhead. You must avoid using a scaffold tower during bad weather conditions, such as strong winds and heavy rain. This goes without saying because the scaffold tower could fall and create greater risk of slipping, resulting in a fall from height. Take regular breaks to avoid fatigue. Only climb from inside the tower, not on the outside. Re-inspect as often as possible, at least every 7 days, especially in the construction industry. Do not extend the tower's height beyond the manufacturer's specification. Do not extend the tower using the casters or base plates. These are for leveling the platform only. In the event that the scaffold tower cannot be levelled, it should not be used at all. And that concludes our safety tips before assembling and using a scaffold tower. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop us a comment. But above all, remember to put in place the risk assessment and follow that